Hey everybody, welcome back. We're in the shop working on this 3A again, and I just got the body off today, and it is in remarkable shape underneath here. This is a 1951 3A, and we've still got a lot of original gray paint on there. You could see what the previous owner did when they changed the engine or transmission or whatever they did there. They really cut that floor up, but we'll get that fixed up again. Hat channel is in real nice shape. And it's got some steps on here that are kind of mangled up. We'll get those straightened out. And that rear floor is very nice shape. So it's not too terrible. We've got quite a bit of body work to do, but not as extensive as most. So I'm real happy with the condition of the body. And I'll show you the frame next. Okay, here's the chassis. I've still got the engine, transmission, transfer case, and axles in it. And we'll get those out next. But the frame, there's not a lot of pitting on it, and it's in very nice shape. When I sandblast that, it's going to clean up perfectly. So we'll get the front rear end out. We'll get those opened up. We'll pull the axles, check the bearings out, and see what it looks like in there. And if you're interested, I'll show you the complete step-by-step process of rebuilding a transmission and transfer case. A lot of grime on that one, so we'll have to clean that up. And we're going to have to do something with the engine here. I'm not sure exactly what this is. Not sure what kind of head that is. It's got a weird water outlet right there. Just a 2-bolt instead of a standard 3-bolt. So somebody put a different head on this. It has the correct CJ3A front engine plate, where one, that's the driver's side ear, will go forward, and the passenger side will go backwards. I think you can see it in there. And that's what it's like on a 3A. So the block may still be a 3A block, but somebody put a 2A head or something odd on there. I'm not sure. I got to dig into that a little deeper. We've got our original 3A starter, and everything is in pretty good shape. We'll see what it looks like when we open it up. Obviously the transfer case was leaking real bad. I think you can see down in there that's just full of grease and leaves and stuff. And the front wheels, the brakes are stuck. The wheels aren't turning real good. But we'll rebuild the whole front end, rear end, engine, transmission, transfer case, everything as we go. But this is a very nice original 3A to start with, and I'll show you some other little details that are nice to find on an original 3A. Okay, here's a driver's side fender. You can see they probably painted this with a brush or something, that red color. There's the original gray on it. And something that's always missing on a 3A is this bracket right here. That attaches to the fender like you see it there, and then goes on the lower bolt of the radiator to the grill. That little bracket's always missing on a 3A. But it is original, and it does belong there. They're just always missing. And here's our pile of wheels. Those are going to be sandblasted. They're in very good shape also. So things are happening, and I'll show you the process as we go along. Here's another little item that's always missing on a 3A. And there's the back of the bell housing there, and there's that bracket, and that specifically holds a spring to bring your starter pedal back. So this one was there. It wasn't hooked up, but it was there. And well, that's one of those little 3A things that's always missing too. So we're going to dig a little deeper into this engine, get the engine out, transmission transfer case out, separated, and then see what's going on with this engine and why they might have put that replacement head on there. And I'll show you that as we get to it. So we're making progress, and we'll see what that looks like. There wasn't a lot of water that came out of this engine, so it may be crudded up in there, but we'll take you through it step by step. Okay guys, I just want to talk about this body a little bit before we end this video. And because I build a lot of bodies, I'm always interested in seeing how they were put together. And I just want to show you when they were stamping these hat channels out. And I think you can see that. You could see all these lines where the machine, basically the press, where that went down into the dies, how it kind of gripped the material there. So that's what it looks like when it's just got a thin layer of paint on it. And then because they never addressed all those lines in there, little by little through the years it would start to get rust right on those lines where the dies grip the hat channel. That's right in there. And then when it progressed a little further than that, you can see down on this side of the hat channel, it just turns into solid rust. So had they taken some time, and it wouldn't have taken much, just clean those up a little bit, you wouldn't have had all those grooves in there, and it didn't really hold the paint real well. But it's just something to think about when we're looking at the history of these old bodies. And you can see it here too. It's a perfect time capsule because you can see where the die gripped this piece of hat channel, and it's starting to rust just on where it gripped it. You can see all up and through here on this hat channel where it didn't rust real bad just yet, but you can see it's rusting faster than everything else, and then it just turns to rust out here. But just something, you know, they were stamping these out fast, and you know, I guess they weren't really planning on us 60 years later restoring them, but that's what happened. That's why the hat channel rusts out so fast, because when they were stamping those out, they just didn't take enough care to get the die marks out of them. And it happens on all of them. It's just turned to rust in there. So I don't know if you guys are really as interested as I am in the old history of putting these together, but I'm always looking to keep the rust at bay and make a good body tub for people. So, you know, once we sandblast this up, all those lines will go away anyway, and we'll put some epoxy primer on here and it'll be fine. But it's not too often you get an original tub in where you can really see the history of how they put it together. So just a couple little facts for you. You know, maybe I get a little crazy on the sheet metal aspect of these things, but you know, once you take a Jeep like this and you sandblast it and clean it, you don't get a chance to look at these details again. So just a little insight into how they were stamping the parts out and how they were building them and what caused the rust and so on and so forth. So hope you guys are enjoying the series, and feel free to subscribe or like, or you know, send a comment on anything you'd like to see. I'm going to try and show you stuff that I think will be important to you, especially on the drivetrain. We're going to rebuild that piece by piece, and I'll try and show you some tips along the way. But if there's anything specific you want to see, just shoot me a message, and I'll try and get it out there for you. Okay, thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.